The Big East Conference has a footprint in major cities in the United States. And tonight, we come to you from Chicago, the home of the 24th ranked DePaul Blue Demons. From McGrath-Phillips Arena, Big Apple meets the Windy City as DePaul hosts the St. John's Red Storm. Hi again, everybody, along with Patricia Babcock-McGraw. I'm Dave Bernhardt. Glad you've joined us here for a Big East weekend. In fact, these weekends are so tough. We know that. A Friday, Sunday, always so difficult, and that was the case for these teams last week. DePaul went to the East Coast, knocked off Georgetown and Villanova, had to come from behind, won a couple of close ball games. And for St. John's, boy, what a tough weekend it was for the Red Storm. Losing 2 ball games at home, both of them in the final second of play. So no matter how you cut it here tonight, these teams have something to prove.
Yeah, both of these teams are going to be playing with some fire in the belly, like they have something to prove. St. John's lost those 2 close games. They need to prove that they can win games in this conference, win close games in this conference. And DePaul had to come back in both of its wins on the road last weekend. They need to prove that they can win with authority, to prove that they are a powerhouse in this conference.
And in this conference, DePaul was one of the co-favorites in the preseason poll of the coaches. Here's your up-to-date standings, including games from earlier today. Marquette goes to 6-0 in league play. They defeated Seton Hall earlier, and then Providence came up and knocked off Butler, giving the Bulldogs their first loss in conference play. That was an overtime win for the Friars.
Well, check out Marquette, the only undefeated team remaining in the Big East Conference. With that comes very important rankings in the national polls. 14 in the Associated Press poll and 13 in the coaches poll. That is the highest ranking by any Big East team since conference realignment. That means a lot to the Big East Conference.
Here your starting lineups tonight. First of all, for St. John's, Red Storm comes in 8-8 on the season, 1-4 in league play. They've dropped 5 of their last 6 under head coach Joe Tartamella.
Well, and Akina Willair, she is a key piece to the puzzle for St. John's. She is from Chicago, so she's back home, and she just recently scored her 1,000th career point.
680 wins for head coach Doug Bruno in his 33rd season. The 24th ranked Blue Demons, 12-5 overall. They've won 2 in a row, and this is what it looks like for the Blue Demons tonight.
Well, forward Marte Graves, she is playing her best basketball of the season. In 2 of her last 3 games, she has scored 20 or more points.
You know, and speaking of points, DePaul comes in 7th in the country, 2nd in the Big East in scoring, averaging 82.9 points per game. St. John's really does not want to get this game in the 80s. Red Storm averages 63 points per game, but they only give up about 59 per game.
Yeah, it'll be a contrast in styles for sure. St. John's, a very defensive-oriented team. They don't give up a lot of points, but DePaul loves to push, and they do it better than anyone in this building for sure. They love this crowd. They feed off the energy that gets their game going.
Very experienced officials tonight. Dee Cantor, Brian Brunette, and Bruce Morris. We've already had 2 games played in Big East action earlier today. Of course, these teams will exchange travel partners. Marquette and Seton Hall played earlier today. Seton Hall will come down to visit DePaul on Sunday, and we'll have that ball game for you right here. That'll be a 2 p.m. Central start. St. John's will make their way to Milwaukee. Everybody will be battling the weather here in the next 24 hours. There's Doug Bruno, this court named after him. One of the few women's basketball coaches that has that honor. We're in McGrath-Phillips Arena. This is Doug Bruno Court. A little bit of dampness on the floor here to get started. Marte Graves been waiting a while there in the circle with Kurtiana Brilo. The Blue Demons will have it. This is Rebecca Dahlman, a 6th-year senior. Shantae Stonewall coming off a double-double.
A good start, important for the Blue Demons. Remember, they were trailing in both of their games last week, and they won those games, but they had to come back.
This is Kwadasha Hoppe. Hoppe, a Euro step. And you will see DePaul run all night long. They'll take it off the glass and go. Blue Demons will shoot the 3, 2nd in the country in 3s per game at 11.8. You saw Graves with the miss earlier. She can't get it to go on the inside here. Stonewall over Brilo. And there's Kelly Campbell, offensive rebound for Campbell. She comes in averaging almost 8 rebounds per game.
And DePaul is an undersized team, but they hustle and they get a lot of second chance opportunities on the offensive end because they offensive rebound so well.
One of the reasons why they are so active, it's hard to block them out on the offensive glass.
Always moving.
Tiana England, outstanding sophomore, leads the Big East in assists, but that three will go down for Alicia Caby. Caby, team leading 29 three-pointers this year. Stonewall answers on the other end.
DePaul immediately with pressure in the backcourt, and that is one of the things they do best is create turnovers that get you going too fast.
Ashton Millender. She's been struggling from three-point range. She knocks down her first tonight.
That absolutely feels good for Ashton Millender. She's had a rough time. You mentioned it with her three-point shot. She needed to get that one early, get her confidence going.
The last 7 games, Millender had only made 11 out of 55 three-point attempts, one of the nation's leading three-point shooters last season. Welair can't get the three the other way. Stonewall posting up Rela. Shot clock at 10.
And this is exactly what St. John's wants to do defensively. Force DePaul to work the basketball.
Millender again, ring it up.
That is the kind of shooter that Ashton Millender can be. Very streaky. She feels it. She hits one, she hits two, and watch out. She can string together 6 or 7.
We've had 4 baskets made here tonight, and they have all been from long range. England averaging 5.6 assists per game. Into the corner to Hoppy. Here's the hometown favorite, and that is Akina Welair. Kelly Campbell, a unanimous preseason All-Big East selection. And that will be an offensive foul on Marte Grays. Did a little hook going around the corner.
Well, if you're Doug Bruno, I don't know if you can get too mad at Marte Grays for that offensive foul because she was really moving with authority and with a purpose to the basket. She had a nice head of steam there, a nice strong move. You want your post players to be aggressive and strong.
A holding call on Alicia Caby for St. John's. Quadasha Hoppy with the freshman of the year in the conference last year. Open three off the back of the iron for England, but another chance for the Red Storm.
St. John's also a very good rebounding team. They've been rebounding very well this season, have won the rebounding war in 9 of their 16 games.
Welair will head to the free throw line. Very quickly, it will be Tanita Allen who will come off the DePaul bench. Doug Bruno is his rotation pretty well set. It was a little disrupted last weekend, however, as Allen was hobbled a little bit. Lexi Held, the freshman, high-scoring freshman for DePaul, missed the 2 games last week against Villanova and Georgetown.
And good news for DePaul that both of those players seem healthy. Tanita Allen hurting that ankle against Marquette, but she's had about a week or so to get healthy, and Lexi Held looks like she will play tonight. She is dressed.
DePaul wrecking it up from long distance, 3 of 4. St. John's are only 3 coming from Alicia Caby.
But I don't think that's where St. John's wants to be taking their shots from three-point range. They don't make many threes per game, only about 5 per game for St. John's. They want to try to pound it inside, drive to the basket, get higher percentage shots.
Allen. Also into the game at that last dead ball, Kadeja Bailey for St. John. She's the preseason freshman of the year. And there is Quadasha Hoppy knocking down a 3. So just like that, we got that 3-ball rolling tonight. Red Storm looking for the lead. England with a soft touch on the rim. Tiana England. The Red Storm will go on top by 1. Stonewall.
Heads-up play there by Shantae Stonewall.
6'1" junior from Normal will clean it up. Third in the conference in offensive rebounding. She gets 3.1 boards per game on the offensive end.
She just always has that nose for the basketball, that nose around the basket. Just a very opportunistic player.
Shot clock's down to 7 seconds, but the Blue Demons will force the turnover. Dahlman full head of steam, and she will draw the whistle.
That's one thing that DePaul loves to do out of a turnover. They want to push. They will not hesitate in getting the ball to the basket. Back-to-back threes, though, for St. John's. It's not their thing, but it's working right now in the first half.
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
Step 1, complete. From this point forward, only the elite advance. Destination Tampa Bay and the Women's Final Four. The 2019 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Chicago Regional. March 30th and April 1st at Wintrust Arena in Chicago.
Bounces right back with a triple. Great job here. And that'll do it!
Visit ncaa.com/WBB tickets and get your tickets today.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here, we do.
The Blue Demons continue a full weekend of playing possess this Sunday afternoon when the Seton Hall Pirates visit McGrath-Phelps Arena for a 2 p.m. matchup. Join all Blue Demons fans on DePaul's Lincoln Park campus as they drive towards a 6th straight regular season conference championship and build their resume for a 17th consecutive appearance in the NCAA tournament. Call the DePaul ticket office today to reserve your seats at 773-325-SLAM or visit DePaulBlueDemons.com for more information on additional ticket opportunities. Welcome to McGrath-Phelps Arena, just underway here, opening 5 minutes and a tight one thanks to maybe somewhat unexpected three-point shooting on the St. John's side. Meanwhile, for DePaul, Blue Demons right on their pace. They're 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. Rebecca Dahlman to the free throw line, 4th in the conference in free throw shooting, 88% this season. She's 11 points from 1,000. So we have more than a couple 1,000-point scorers on this floor here tonight. And she'll be immediately replaced by Dee Bakelja, sophomore from Solon, Ohio. Into the game for St. John's after that timeout is 6'3" sophomore Kayla Charles. She has been a rebounding machine. Wadasha Hoppy, sophomore from Staten Island, will give it up to Tiana England. Both of those two were on the all-freshman team last year in the Big East. England trying to create space. Allen passed up a 3 to Bakelja. Back to Allen, now Campbell. Stonewall will let it fly. Shantae Stonewall.
And Joe Tardinello wants a timeout right after a timeout simply because he doesn't like the way his team is rotating defensively. You saw how well DePaul rotated the ball around, nice crisp passes quickly around the perimeter, and that left just enough daylight here for Shante Stonewall to launch that three. And Joe Tardinello says, hey guys, we've got to extend our three-point shooters. We know that's DePaul's thing. Get out on them, make sure the rotations are faster than that.
DePaul, 11.8 threes per game. They hit 22 in a game earlier this season. And there's what it looks like today, 67%. In fact, 6 of 11 combined. That's getting the job done.
Well, and the thing is, too, is that everyone's a three-point shooter. So you can't say to coach, hey, coach, I wasn't sure who could shoot the threes. They all can shoot threes. They all need to be covered beyond the three-point line.
St. John's has played 7 players, and that is about it. That's about the depth on the bench for St. John's. They came into the season with a short roster, a couple of injuries, have tightened it up a little bit more. Turn around from Kayla Charles will not go. Diva Keljo. St. John's doing a good job to work that shot clock down. It's down to 10 seconds. Allen, tough traffic. Charles will get her first rebound of the night. She's had a 20-rebound game this year for the Red Storm.
Yeah, you mentioned that she's a rebounding machine, and that was in her first ever start.
Kadeja Bailey on the drive, and Bailey will pick up the offensive foul. 6'1" freshman from Long Beach, New York.
And there's Tanita Allen, and how tough is Tanita Allen? Remember, she's coming off an ankle injury, just putting herself right there in harm's way, taking the charge. That's something that she does. She's kind of that blue chip player, not afraid to mix it up and do the tough work. Nice play by Tanita.
5'10" senior from right here in Chicago. Sonia Morris into the game. She gets the touch up top. Down to Allen. And that shot's partially blocked by Bailey. And Campbell scrapping on the offensive boards, and that will lead to a couple of free throws.
Kelly Campbell also a scrapper for DePaul. Here you see the shot falling short by Tanita Allen, but Kelly Campbell, that nose to the ball right there. She is a stat stuffer for DePaul. She had a triple-double last year. She scores. She's a great rebounder for her size, but probably best of all, she's a really nice facilitator for this DePaul basketball team, a team that prides itself in sharing the basketball. She's one of the best passers on one of the best passing teams in the country.
5.2 assists per game. That's third in the Big East. She gets a couple of free throws there for her first points. You speak of rebounds. How about 74 rebounds for Campbell in the last 8 games? And that's coming from the guard.
Everybody on this DePaul team has to be a rebounder. Doug Bruno preaches that because they are a little undersized. So guards, forwards, everyone has to rebound.
St. John's looking up at a 7-point deficit. They'll look for 3 from the corner. Here's Campbell on the move. Sonia Morris, a freshman for the Blue Demons. Tough shot in the lane for Sonia Morris.
And that's nice defense by St. John's. DePaul advanced the ball quickly. St. John's matched that and got back, played tough half-court defense. That was just a really tough shot by the freshman.
Morris averaging 5.6 points per game. DePaul willing to let St. John's shoot the 3. Now looking for a double-digit lead. Oh, what a bounce.
Very nice pass. Oh, a couple of bounce passes go for naught, but we love the bounce pass in the paint especially. Those were pretty.
KB may have rushed that one just a bit, but she'll keep it alive. Only 3 baskets in the quarter for St. John's. McKelge will rip it off after the miss from Bailey. Anita Allen, the senior leadership, will give it up to the sophomore McKelge, and this whistle comes away from the ball. This may go against Quadasha Hoppy. Hoppy was holding Campbell. Rebecca Dahlman back into the ball game for DePaul. Now Jasmine Sina, graduate student from New Jersey, will check in for Joe Tardamella, and that is it. He has used every one of his available players here tonight, 8 of them in uniform. Stonewall, strong drive, but it will be the block from Kurtiana Breelove. Breelove transfer from Virginia Commonwealth, 3 years at VCU. Of course, had to sit out with the transfer last season. Morris put the ball on the floor, and the foul will be picked up by Waller.
DePaul doing a great job of creating contact, whether it be on drives to the basket there or the holding calls. A couple of those already for St. John's, and tough to keep up with this DePaul team, the way that they move, the way that they cut. Sometimes the only thing that you can do is hold them back, hold their jersey. And DePaul doing a nice job of tagging St. John's with some early fouls.
Sonia Morris at the free throw line, picked up a Freshman of the Week honor this year. She went to the same high school as former DePaul great WNBA draft pick Felicia Chester. It's Incarnate Word High School. And a couple of misses there for Morris. So the lead remains in single digits. About a 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Hand up to England. Shot clock's down to 4, to 3. I don't know if England's going to get it off. Allen got a piece of the ball, but it's a shot clock violation nevertheless.
I'm not sure England really knew how much time was left, but DePaul did. I heard Doug Rooney yelling from the sidelines, you got to play the shot clock, not the game clock. And his players did exactly that.
Now
nice
it's defense. About the game clock for Dahlman. Went glass hit a little too hard, but a big first quarter for DePaul. 24th ranked Blue Demons. A 19-10 early lead here after 1 in Chicago over St. John's. It's not loading. Okay, mine is not loading. I don't know if it's my iPad, my Wi-Fi signal. So we'll have to go with these. Yep. I do. All right. Yeah, go for it. Bands, the DePaul men's basketball team returns to Wintrust Arena when they welcome the defending national champions, the Villanova Wildcats, on Wednesday, January 30th at 7 p.m. Take the CTA red or green train lines to Cermak Chinatown and see what playing possessed is all about, as the Big East Conference continues to be one of the top basketball conferences in the country this season. Individual tickets start at just $25. For more information, call 773-325-SLAM or visit DePaulBlueDemons.com today. Here's Marte Graves, scoreless in the first quarter. She'll have a seat to start.
A couple of fouls for Marte Graves, and she had some issues with that over the weekend, but came back strong, finished strong against Villanova with some foul trouble.
Current honor roll selection this week in the Big East Conference. She went to back with those honors. Third time this year that the senior from Detroit has been named to the honor roll. Inside to Breelove. And that falls out of there. St. John's just 3 of 13 in the first quarter from the field. We've been stuck on this 19-10 score for some time. Rebound to England. That 10 has been sitting on the board a long time for St. John's, and they're going to have to wait a little bit longer.
Coach Joe Tartamella told us that his team has had a problem this season establishing a rhythm offensively. They just can't seem to get it going. They make some tough mistakes, that they miss some easy shots, and you can tell that they're just a little disjointed down on the offensive end.
Shante Stonewall knocks it down. Third three of the game for Stonewall. She has 11 points.
And that's her second one from that spot, and what's making her so tough is she can go inside, she can go out. She's got the length to be a force inside, but man, she can pull those big players from St. John's outside, hit those shots, and that really opens up things in the lane for DePaul.
Still nothing going down for the Red Storm. Maybe another shot, and she'll make the best of it. Alicia Cabey Jr. from Philadelphia. 10-point difference at 22-12. Morris. Rebound battle won by Tiana England.
And you wonder, Dave, with 7 players in the rotation for St. John's tonight, as much energy and effort as they have to exert to bring the ball up sometimes and to defend DePaul, how much gas they have in the tank for quality offensive possessions. And there is another turnover by St. John's, another empty possession.
Well, for DePaul, one of their parts of every game plan is to wear their opponent out, no matter whether you have 7 players or 12 players. And that's the Blue Demons' method of operation. Yep. So tonight, it's a case for St. John's tonight. If they're going to take a breather, it's going to have to come on the offensive end, because they're going to be working all night defensively. 10-point lead, the 24th ranked team in the country.
But at the same time, they can't lose focus on the offensive end. They haven't been shooting the ball well, and that is Joe Tartamella's #1 complaint. We aren't always focused on the offensive end.
Campbell, step back, and it's a 2. Just had her toes in the line, but Kelly Campbell will hit it to push the lead to 12, but quickly the other way. The break to Kadeja Bailey.
Boy, that was a pretty break, and beating DePaul at its own game, really.
Woo, big time rebound from Charles.
You like it when a player kind of knows what her thing is, and Charles knows that rebounding is her thing, and the way that she goes after rebounds like that with authority, trying to be dominant, you like that out of the player. She's kind of taking ownership of her role on this team.
Entering the game for DePaul, freshman Lexi Held missed games out east last weekend due to a laceration on her foot. Prolific scorer, she leads DePaul in points per minute. That's coming off the bench for a freshman. Good young players in this ball game tonight. KB cannot get by Millender. England and McKelja. Tiana England a good step and she'll roll it in.
That's something that St. John's needs more out of England. She needs to be more of a scorer. She leads the Big East in assists per game. Joe Tartamella wants her to get to the basket as well. He says that she doesn't know how good she can be.
Shot clock in single digits. Down to 4, but a travel.
I was going to say St. John's is making DePaul work and eventually forcing the turnover there. That is 4 turnovers now for the Blue Demons. That was a very nice defensive set for St. John's.
Red Storm only allowing 59 points per game. They've given up 24 here in just about a quarter and a half. Ooh, big time pick there from Charles unheld. And the floater will go for Kadeja Bailey.
And Doug Bruno not liking how St. John's is getting to the basket so easily. A couple of nice, strong layups for St. John's, and Coach Doug Bruno wants to talk about it. Nice little run here by St. John's. DePaul still with a 24-18 lead.
Okay. Got it. Yes, I do. Wintrust Arena will host the 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament presented by Jeep. Starting January, March 9th, enjoy the competition as all 10 of the conference's teams vie for an automatic berth in the 2019 NCAA Women's Championship Tournament. Tickets are on sale now, so call the DePaul ticket office today to reserve your package or visit DePaulBlueDemons.com for more information. Well, 12-point lead is down to 6. The Red Storm have kept their patience, gotten the ball to go down a little bit. Blue Demons band making it happen here during the timeout here at McGrath-Phillips Arena. DePaul will host Seton Hall on Monday, while St. John's will travel to Milwaukee and face Marquette.
It's a tough road trip for any team to come into Chicago, play DePaul, then have to go up to Milwaukee and play Marquette. Two of the toughest teams in the country, both in the top 25, Dave.
DePaul at 24, Marquette at 14. Millender, will she get another? She does. Ashton Millender, her third three of this game.
making up for lost time and struggled a little bit. Ashton Millender really feeling it here today, just shooting in rhythm, shooting with confidence. That is the Ashton Millender that a lot of opponents know and don't like so much.
Averaging 2.6 threes per game. She's up to 48 on the season now, and that lead jumped from 6 to 9. Shot clock's at 3. The block from Allen. Trailer Millender, ooh, she was going to let it go.
She was.
And that's within her range. Don't be fooled by any location on the court. DePaul, if they are open, they will shoot it. This is Lexi Held. She'll stay with it. Allen a 3. Another offensive rebound. Stonewall, Millender, Campbell, and a travel.
That looked like a good shot fake to me, and St. John's giving this very good shooting DePaul team far too many opportunities at the basket. Coach Joe Tartamella has got to be losing his mind on the sideline. Just a little hop there by Kelly Campbell, and she was lining it up, ready to drill that three-point attempt. St. John's, a good rebounding team, has to figure out how to limit DePaul to one and done down at the other end.
Waller on Campbell, and Kelly Campbell will pick up the foul, a matchup of number 20s. Keenan Waller played her high school basketball at Gwendolyn Brooks School here in Chicago. Back in 2016, St. John's came to this very floor and won the Big East tournament. And Keenan Waller, the only player still remaining for St. John's off of that team. In fact, she had one of her best games of her career against DePaul in the semifinals when Red Storm knocked off the Blue Demons.
What a big moment for her to come home and to have a big game against a big-time team on its own floor in a game of that magnitude. That is going to be something that she always remembers.
Morris loves that shot from the elbow. Sonia Morris. You don't see too many mid-range shooters anymore. She's an excellent one. A freshman from Missouri.
Two of DePaul's freshmen are very good mid-range shooters, in Sonia Morris and Lexi Held. They have perfected it. That's their shot. It kind of differentiates them from the crowd a little bit, because you're right, a lot of kids just want to shoot layups and threes nowadays.
Wide open from the top, Waller.
I don't know, does that kind of make me sound old? The kids these days, that's all they want to do, shoot threes and layups, Dave. I don't know what's wrong with them.
Oh, my goodness. It's been a long double possessions here for St. John's. No whistle on the drive by Kaby. She stays with it. How about Alicia Kaby? She's coming off an 18-point game. Last game was a loss to Creighton, a heartbreaker. Kaby will go to the free throw line. She has 5 points tonight.
This is the easiest way to get yourself back into a ball game, is just really be a force on the offensive boards. It's what DePaul's doing down at the other end, and now St. John's trying to get in on the action themselves, trying to keep possessions alive. And a nice job there by Kaby.
Stonewall, she's been hot from distance, not this one. Another offensive rebound. Stonewall again. That will go.
And that is 7 three-pointers now for DePaul, shooting at a scorching rate, 47% from three-point range.
Stonewall is 4 of 5 on threes tonight. And that one just slipped out of the hands of Ashton Millender. Shantae Stonewall, as Doug Bruno says, has these moments of brilliance defensively and rebounding, and tonight she's getting it done on the offensive end. 14 points. She's one of 3 players for DePaul that averages in double figures at 12.8 a game. She also second on the team in rebounds at 7.1.
We see Shantae Stone, number 22 there in white, 6'1", playing at the point of the press for DePaul. She is so effective there with those long arms, and she is sneaky quick. And she's on the point again. They love her size out there on the perimeter for DePaul. She causes a lot of tips and deflections, a lot of havoc out there on the perimeter.
They'll leave KB open, and she will make them pay. Alicia KB, her second 3 of this game. She's at double figures with 10. 4 threes against Creighton on Sunday. St. John's just hanging here in single digits. Difference of 8 with 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Sonia Morris, after that air ball miss, just kind of turned around and said, oh my.
You know what, Doug Bruno not yelling about that missed shot.
Nope.
I'm not sure what he's yelling about, but not that, because he knew that Sonia was open. And these players from DePaul have been instructed, if you're open and you feel like you can make that shot, go ahead and take it. The greenest green light in America, Doug Bruno likes to say. He never gets mad at a player when they're shooting an open shot. If you force a shot, that might be a different story.
St. John's looking to get within 6. They do, and a chance to knock it down by 1 more.
St. John's being smart right now. They are trying to get it inside, get those high percentage shots when you're down, when the offense isn't working so well. Try to pound it inside. That's a nice look and a nice lead pass there. And Wellaire just being strong with the basketball. Trying to put it together here for the hometown fans. She now has 5 points for St. John's.
3 of 4 from the line tonight. And she finishes off the 3-point play. And just when it looks like DePaul may stretch it out, St. John's comes right back. Red Storm within 5. The pace of the game is certainly the way Joe Tardamella, the head coach for St. John's, wanted it to be. 90 seconds to play in the first half. Morris, stutter step travel. Quickly off the bench. Wellaire will come back in for St. John's with the ball in 1:24 left. You're looking at any sort of foul trouble. Wellaire and Hoppy for St. John's with 2 each, and Dahlman and Grays for DePaul with 2 personal fouls. Bekelja hand on the ball, and unfortunately for Blue Demons fans, it was the last hand on the ball. Boy, this is a tough spot to inbounds against this DePaul pressure in full court.
And DePaul always does such a good job of defending inbound passes. One of the toughest teams I've ever seen do it. You saw how Dee Bekelja got her hand on that basketball the last time around. They are just relentless, even on inbounds defense.
Cena back into the game for St. John. She has it now. Back to England. We hit 60 seconds to play in the first half. Cena, quick release. Down it goes. That's a 2 for Jasmine Cena. We have a 3-point game. Couple of handoffs, ends up with Morris.
Oh, great job. What a look and what a roll and cut to the basket by Shantae Stonewall. Talk about her nose for the basket. She's got a great idea of space and court awareness as well.
Got that pass from Sonia Morris. Stonewall 16 first half points, 16 of DePaul's 34. Cena will give it up to Charles. Again, shot clock down to 0, and that's the second violation we've had tonight. Another one was blocked right at the shot clock buzzer. 10 seconds to play here for DePaul with a 5-point lead. Allen to bring it up. Stonewall, hot hand. And that's how the first half will come to a close. DePaul had the lead up to as much as 12, flirted with the 10-11 point difference, but St. John's hanging tough, 34-29 here at the half in Chicago. Yes, I have that. Read D.
Family on three. 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
Step 1 complete. From this point forward, only the elite advance. Destination Tampa Bay and the Women's Final Four. The 2019 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Chicago Regional. March 30th and April 1st at Wintrust Arena in Chicago.
Bounces right back with a triple. Great job here. And that'll do it!
Visit ncaa.com/WBB tickets and get your tickets today.
Wintrust Arena will host the 2019 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Regional Semifinals and Finals. Starting Saturday, March 30th, witness the Sweet 16 as 4 of the best teams in the country compete for a spot in the Women's Final Four. Tickets are on sale now, so call the DePaul ticket office today to reserve your package or visit ncaa.com/WBB tickets for more information. Earlier this week, Big East Megan Caffrey had a chance to talk to DePaul senior Marte Grays. Let's check in with Megan.
Welcome into the Big East Women's Basketball Update. I'm Megan Caffrey. What a week it has been for Big East Women's Hoops. 3 teams are receiving recognition in the latest national polls. Marquette, DePaul, and the Butler Bulldogs are receiving votes for the 2nd straight week. The Marquette Golden Eagles are leading the pack, coming in at number 14 in this week's rankings. That is not only a program record for the Golden Eagles, it's also the highest ranking by any Big East team since conference reconfiguration. I think the really interesting thing here is that you look at the success that the Golden Eagles are having without Big East preseason player of the year, Alizea Blockton. She has been out the last 4 games with an injury, and it is next man up mentality for the Golden Eagles. That next man up has been Natisha Heidemann. Get this, Natisha has averaged 15.4 points per game, and now she is averaging 17.8 points per game since Blockton's injury. She now leads the league in scoring. And the DePaul Blue Demons are back in the national polls after a week of absence from last week. And DePaul is usually getting off to a really hot start in conference play. They're sitting at 3-2 in league action right now. And it's a little bit of a different mindset for the Blue Demons this season. I sat down with forward Marte Grays about the new identity that this Blue Demons team is creating for themselves. We now welcome in DePaul forward Marte Grays. Marte, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Your team trailed in your game against Villanova on Sunday until your three-pointer forced overtime. You then outscored the Wildcats 11-4 to win it. What was the difference offensively for your team in overtime?
Offensively, we had a lot of juice, a lot of motivation to get the win that night. We didn't do much more than just execute our offense. That's all that was. It was nothing special about anything else in overtime, but just execution. We did a real good job of executing our offense.
You also had a come-from-behind victory on Friday against Georgetown. Back-to-back come-from-behind wins. What did that teach you about your team? That we have a fight in us that we can just, if we can carry on throughout the season, the regular season conference, we can pull off and beat a lot of great teams in this league. We just have to start from the start, getting off to a quick and efficient start. So if we can come back and win against a great team like Georgetown, we can do that against any team in the Big East. Who is the most vocal motivator on the team? I have to say Ashton Millinder. Like, she brings the energy offensively and defensively, especially defensively. She gets to us and gets in our heads and have us going. After the game on Sunday, head coach Doug Bruno said, your team is still really trying to find yourselves. What is the identity that you hope at the end of this Big East season you have created? We just want to be a team, one of DePaul's best teams, 2019, 18 and 19 team. We just want to establish roles and do what we do best, really. So it's really nothing more to it than that. What is it that you do best? Well, me personally, post up, and help my team, of course, like defensively or stuff like that. That's what I do best personally. But our team, we shoot the three well, and we look for each other. We assist pretty well too. You are majoring in sociology, Martez, with a concentration in criminology. Once you're in season, how is it balancing the academic schedule with all of the basketball that is going on? Sometimes it can get a little rough or a little hard, but lately it's been real smooth. This is my last year. I'm only taking one class right now, and I'm pretty focused and locked in academically and on the court right now, so I think that's positive for me. Your team is home this weekend. What are some of the home rituals that you guys have pregame? They are different, but we just like, since it's home, like we just like to chill. We live literally right across the street from the gym, so we don't, we just chill and stuff until it's time for game time. Like people's pregame rituals are so different than others on the team. What's your pregame ritual? I personally like to stay up and, do my hair, put a little mascara on. I stay up the whole time because I'm so anxious all the time. Will this hairdo be what we're going to see this weekend? I don't know. Should it be? I love it. Yeah. Okay, well, it is. It brings a little something. I love it. Martez, thank you so much for joining me, and best of luck this weekend. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
Step 1, complete. From this point forward, only the elite advance. Destination Tampa Bay and the Women's Final Four. The 2019 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Chicago Regional. March 30th and April 1st at Wintrust Arena in Chicago.
Bounces right back with a triple. Great job here. And that'll do it!
Visit ncaa.com/WBB tickets and get your tickets today.
Family on three, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the big
34-29 at the half here at McGrath-Phillips Arena in Chicago. Blue Demons, 24th ranked team in the country, on top of St. John's. And hi again, everybody. Dave Bernhardt along with Patricia Babcock-McGraw. And as far as DePaul is concerned, they take pride in their three-point shooting. They take pride in their rebounding, and so far it's worked pretty well.
In a close game, that is what is separating DePaul here today. 21-15 rebounding advantage, and they're really getting busy on the offensive glass. 9 offensive rebounds. That has led to 7 second chance points. But St. John's is fighting here, David. Not easy to do here on this floor. One of the toughest places to play in the Big East. They are really doing a nice job getting the ball inside, trying to get some high percentage shots, and that's why they are hanging around.
Those three-point shooters for DePaul, well, they've been doing it all year long. Ashton Millender has found the hot hand here tonight for the Blue Demons. In fact, Ashton Millender along with Shante Stonewall just ripping the nets off the rim.
Ashton Millender is a perfect 3 for 3 from three-point range. Really found her stroke early, got into rhythm, and she is that streaky kind of shooter. Once she hits a few, boy, watch out, because she will hit a lot more. And Shante Stonewall, she is having herself a game 16 first half points. She is 4 of 6 from three-point range.
St. John's coming off an excellent three-point shooting game themselves. A loss to Creighton this past Sunday, and they got things going early as well, but Shante Stonewall just too much. Alicia Cavey, she'll get one here. She had 4 threes against Creighton. She knocks one down there, and she's got a little bit of help in that three-point spot as well. Cavey on the drive. Akina Wolaire is chipped in as well, coming back to her hometown for St. John's. Here is Cavey. She's strong inside and outside.
And I think that's where St. John's really made a difference, is when they started to go inside and get some of those easier shots. And you see there that a big thing that stands out are those rebounds, 21-15 in DePaul's advantage.
Shooting percentage for St. John's increased as the half went along. And a good one here, 34-29 at the half. Big East play. DePaul 3-2 in conference play. St. John's working on a losing streak of 3 games. They've dropped 5 of their last 6, but we've got 20 minutes of basketball left from McGrath-Phillips Arena here in Chicago.
Family on three, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
Step 1 complete. From this point forward, only the elite advance. Destination Tampa Bay and the Women's Final Four. The 2019 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Chicago Regional. March 30th and April 1st at Wintrust Arena in Chicago.
Bounces right back with a triple. Great job here. And that'll do it!
Visit ncaa.com/.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
To know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here, we do.
against Creighton, and you got to definitely make sure that you have enough gas in the tank against a team like DePaul because of the way they like to run and push the basketball. So he is going to be watching his players carefully and trying to get subs whenever he can. But like you said, he only has 2 people coming off the bench.
Rebecca Dahlman found herself on the bench for most of the first half with a couple of fouls. She'll get it inside to Marte Graves. Graves only played 4 minutes in the first half, picking up 2 quick fouls. That's the 3rd straight game that Graves has gotten in some early foul trouble. However, her efforts in the second half this past week have been outstanding.
A little bit of a battle there between KB and Shante Stonewall inside, and KB getting tacked with the foul.
Dahlman quickly out of the inbounds. Rebecca Dahlman drills the 3. That's her 22nd 3 of the year. Dangerous pass on the inbounds. Quadasha Hoppy with it. Held it just a 3-point field goal in the first half. Hoppy, team's leading scorer, 12.3 a game. That's an easy one inside for Kurtiana Brilov, her first basket of the night. The cutting Campbell, that will not go. Last weekend, tough for St. John's. Red Storm losing twice, once in overtime by a point, and then to Creighton by 2. Both of those losses came in the final second of play.
And Joe Taramella being really deliberate here with his offense, wanting his players to come right to the sideline, working a specific play, trying to slow things down a little bit. But you see DePaul quick to get the ball down the floor.
Inside, outside, Millender. It's the first miss of the night for Ashton Millender.
And St. John's dodging a bullet there because Ashton Millender was pretty wide open. And how do you do that? She's 3 of 3 from 3-point range in the first half. You should have somebody all over her.
Tough traffic for Willaire. England rattles it home over a flying Shante Stonewall.
And that was a very nice offensive possession for St. John's, recognizing the weakness there in the DePaul defense. A late rotation there by Shante Stonewall, and England really took advantage.
St. John's has cut it to 3. A long one would tie it. Go deep to Brilov. And that will be the 3rd foul on Marte Graves.
St. John's really doing a nice job of spacing the floor, allowing Brilov to have some space in there. You see that they're looking for her inside. She's big and strong. She's got some nice moves, some nice footwork to the basket. And really isolated there, and she kind of had her way in the paint. Now, I believe that foul was on Marte Graves, and that is her 3rd. She's got to be careful. She did not play much in that first half, and here she goes again, headed to the bench.
Just 4 minutes in the first half. She's played 2.5 here in the second. Graves, 20 or more points in 2 of her last 3 games. She is scoreless tonight. Brilov makes it a 2-point game.
And you've got to feel like that's been part of the game plan as well. I just talked about how St. John's doing a nice job of isolating there in the paint, and perhaps also not only trying to get some high percentage shots, but trying to get Marte Graves in foul trouble, and they succeeded at that. She's on the bench again.
Sonia Morris into the game, along with Tanita Allen for DePaul. Kayla Charles has come in for the Red Storm. Once again, shot clock is under 10. Nice. Tough pass, and a great pass from Dahlman inside to Stonewall. England will drop it back for Willaire for the lead. Akina Willaire buries it off the assist from Tiana England. St. John's 38-37 lead after trailing by 12. Akina Willaire knocks it down. Okay, we did not do E, so we're going to F. Okay, F as in fans groups of 15. Yep.
Step 1, complete. From this point forward, only the elite advance. Destination Tampa Bay and the Women's Final Four. The 2019 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Chicago Regional. March 30th and April 1st at Wintrust Arena in
Fans group of 15 or more can save up to $5 per ticket at any DePaul men's or women's game. Whether it's a birthday party, team celebration, or family gathering, a Blue Demons game provides high-quality action at a very affordable price. Be sure to take advantage of this great offer and gather your friends and family for a college basketball game at either Wintrust Arena or right here at McGrath-Phillips Arena. Be sure to visit DePaulBlueDemons.com or call 773-325-SLAM this week to book your outing with the DePaul Group Ticket representative. Dave Bernhardt, Patricia Babcock McGraw, and Trish, how about St. John's? Rebecca Dahlman opened this half with the 3, but since then, St. John's gone on a 9-0 run.
Yeah, they have been impressive. They're getting the ball inside. They're kicking it out for three-pointers. They're doing a nice job defensively as well. They're playing with some confidence here in Chicago.
DePaul coming up on 3 minutes without a point. Tanita Allen cannot end that streak. Numbers for the Red Storm. England, she has 5 assists tonight. Tiana England gets her 9th point, and St. John's leads by 3, and that run now goes to 11-0, 40-37. St. John's making the Blue Demons work for every possession. Shot clock's down to 9.
And nothing coming easy right now for DePaul.
Made only 1 of their 6 shots. Sonia Morris, long-range 3.
And that didn't come easy either. She had a defender right in her face with a hand up. That was a super tough shot by Morris.
Doug Runa wanted to travel, and our outside official, Dee Cantner, said nope. Trials the handoff to Cabey. Alicia Cabey, bodies on the floor in an offensive foul.
Is that Tanita Allen again? Because she's already drawn 1 charge in this game. I think it was her. I couldn't tell. But that's exactly the kind of defensive spark that DePaul needs to kind of get things going. They're in a little bit of a funk right now. This team does an excellent job of generating offense off of defense.
Stonewall with it, a 16-point first half. We'll give it up to Campbell. We're under 10 on the shot clock. Millender got a pretty good look. Ashton Milner, her 4th 3 of the night. And quickly the other way, Bailey will make it a 1-point game.
Not many teams out DePaul, but St. John's did a great job of getting that ball out quickly in transition after that made three by Millender.
Sonia Morris on the bounce to Allen. Millender covered up quickly by Wolaire. 5 to shoot. 3 to shoot. Campbell launches. Charles wanted it on the other end. Instead, Bailey. Allen got the initial block. Kadeja Bailey stayed with it. And with that, St. John's will regain the lead.
You see St. John's starting to apply some pressure as well. Joe Tartamella really wanting his players to dial up the energy factor here in the third quarter. And they are playing with a different energy level than I saw the entire first half.
Block from Charles. Good job by Stonewall to get it off of Charles' leg. Head coach Joe Tartamella saw his team down by 12 in the first half, but the Red Storm just kept sticking around. And his team will go to the timeout break on top, 44-43. Okay. Okay.
We'd like to welcome all Wintrust race champions in attendance at tonight's game. Congratulations and enjoy the rest of the game. All right, ball fans, it's time for the final student contest of the night. We have Jacob down here, and we have Henry on the other end. Today we're going to be doing the buzzer beater challenge. We're going to have 30 seconds to make a layup, then a free throw, and then a three-pointer. First one that does that is going to win a 45-minute massage courtesy of the Rainwater Fitness Center. Jacob, you ready? Henry, you ready? Let's go. All right, both make the layups. Both 0 for 1 on the free throw so far.
The Blue Demons continue a full weekend of playing possessed this Sunday afternoon when the Seton Hall Pirates visit McGrath-Phillips Arena for a 2 p.m. matchup. Join all the Blue Demon fans on DePaul's Lincoln Park campus as DePaul drives towards a 6th straight regular season conference championship and build their resume for a 17th consecutive appearance in the NCAA tournament. Call the DePaul ticket office today to reserve your seats at 773-325-SLAM or visit DePaulBlueDemons.com for more information on additional ticket opportunities. Well, Trish, the tough weekend for St. John's last week, we always wonder, even though you have 5 days between games, the carryover effect from 2 tough last-second losses and then finding themselves down by 12 here early. I talk about some resiliency. We talked about it for DePaul last weekend, but how about tonight for St. John's?
Absolutely. I've been impressed with what St. John's has been able to do right out of the gate here after halftime. But this is a team that has some toughness. Yeah, they've lost 5 of their last 6 games, but you mentioned it, they've lost close games. And Doug Bruno reminded us when we talked to him this week that St. John's is a team you do not want to look past. They are talented. They are tough. They played UConn tougher than any team in the country this season, with the exception of Baylor. They defended against UConn, rebounded, got to the rim. There was an even game against UConn, with UConn and St. John's going into the 4th quarter. So this is a team that has some talent, that has risen to the occasion in some big games. They just had some tough luck lately. They are showing what they are made out of here in the 3rd quarter.
In fact, that UConn game, the final score was just a 10-point difference. Gray's back in the game with 3 fouls.
And DePaul really needs Marte Graves to get herself going, but she needs to stay in the game. She cannot foul.
Coast to coast for England. Double figures with the 11. 3-point lead matches the biggest of the night for St. John's. Dahlman had a 3 to start this period. Charles with a rebound. You can just tell St. John's feeling it on another run, this time 6-0 run. They were 11-0 run moments ago. Just the energy, the moxie. They're playing with some swagger. They're playing with some confidence. They're moving better. They're moving with a purpose. They feel like in this very moment that they can win this game. They've made their last 6 shots. Oh, wow, look at that pass. Ends up to Wolaire. Long one from DePaul would tie it. Gray's posting low. Campbell for the tie. And she may get a chance to tie it at the free throw line as Charles came flying out at her and drew the whistle.
What great ball movement by the Blue Demons. I thought that Marte Graves had a really good position inside, a good chance to get herself going, but realized that maybe not quite the shot that she wanted, and seeing Kelly Campbell out there wide open. And that is the way this DePaul team plays, with such unselfishness. They pass the ball so well. They just need some shots to go down right now. They are getting the looks. The looks are there for the Blue Demons.
Campbell, unanimous pick for the preseason All-Big East team. She was a first-team selection last year. 2 of 3, cuts it to a 1-point lead for St. John's. Nothing there for Hoppy. 8 to shoot already. St. John's had a couple of shot clock violations tonight. The steal.
A little too fancy.
A 4-on-1. Graves will finish.
Nice. Pretty basketball. That is just hustle. DePaul out hustling St. John's down the floor, and now they get another chance with a turnover.
Dahlman, 3-ball. Nope. So St. John's weathers that flurry. Blue Demons on top by 1. Coming up on 2 minutes to play in the third. Charles, nice catch. I think that pass was intended for England, who was setting up on the right wing, and Charles just went up and it's stuck in her midst.
She intercepted it, that's for sure. The 6'3", those long arms, which are great for rebounding. You see here with Bailey, I think trying to get it out on the perimeter there with a cross-court pass.
Charles looking for her first points of the night. Does have 4 rebounds behind her name. And we're tied once again. 6 ties, 7 lead changes tonight. And there is your 8th lead change. Stonewall's been quiet here in the third quarter in the scoring column. We'll give it to Dahlman. Dahlman, such a great post passer. And that time it will be Waller over the back of Graves.
I'm watching Graves, and she's just working so hard to establish good position inside. Her teammates have missed her a couple times in the post. She knows she needs to get herself going.
Stonewall can't find a spot off the backboard.
Marte Graves with only 2 points in this ball game.
Quadasha Hoppy nearly knocked away by Dahlman. Hoppy a little step back. Dahlman the board, looking ahead. Millender. Hoppy right there. The bounce, long one, it goes inside to Stonewall. Shantae Stonewall's first points of the second half results in a DePaul lead.
The nice look inside by Ashton Millender. Both Stonewall and Marte Graves doing a great job of establishing themselves inside.
Bailey will attack. Dahlman started her college career at Vanderbilt. 5,000-point scorer in high school and All-American. She's on the floor, gets it now. Campbell, tough shot. Another chance to Dahlman.
Oh, pretty basketball. The cutting, always cutting with a purpose. Marte Graves recognizing that Dahlman had a great cut to the basket.
Down to the final 5 seconds in the third quarter. England nearly scraped the rafters here in McGrath-Phelps Arena. It comes up short. Well, what a third period we had. Lead changes, ties. And now the pass, the cut, the spin, and a three-point lead for DePaul.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
Step 1 complete. From this point forward, only the elite advance. Destination Tampa Bay and the Women's Final Four. The 2019 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Chicago Regional. March 30th and April 1st at Wintrust Arena in Chicago.
Bounces right back with a triple. Great job here. And that'll do it!
Visit ncaa.com/WBB tickets and get your tickets today.
Family on three, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust
Arena will host the 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament presented by Jeep. Starting Saturday, March 9th, enjoy the competition as all 10 of the conference's teams vie for an automatic berth in the 2019 NCAA Women's Championship Tournament. Tickets are on sale now, so call the DePaul ticket office today to reserve your package or visit DePaulBlueDemons.com for more information.
Well, Dave, St. John's is really looking for some consistency here in the fourth quarter. They opened up that third quarter red hot, 6 of 6 of their field goals, first field goals in the third quarter, but then 0 for their last 4 to end the third quarter. No field goals for St. John's in the final 3:53 of the third quarter.
You know, and I think that's part of the story as well. Think about that, right? 4 shot attempts in the last 4 minutes. I think it goes to the pace that St. John's is playing. They're taking that shot clock down to the final 5 seconds.
They sure are.
We start the fourth. DePaul, the 24th ranked team in the country, 3-2 conference record, 12-5 overall, leading St. John's by 3. This for the tie. Dahlman on the move. Blue Demons tonight, 10 of 25, shooting a 3. This is a 2 from Allen. Charles the rebound. That will be her 5th of the night. England looking inside, nothing there with Breelove. Tough pass, it gets to Breelove. That ball was thrown up for grabs, but it stays alive.
How did she get that out of there?
Havey, that ball was halfway down.
Kelly Campbell needs some elbow pads, some knee pads. She has been all over the floor in this game, just the last 2 plays here. Almost taking a face plant into the floor. She is fighting and scrapping for everything for DePaul, and St. John's fighting and scrapping right back.
Breelove, I don't believe she felt that she was going to be that wide open. A turnover will send it the other way. Scoreless here in the first minute of play in the fourth quarter. Good ball movement. Grays pulled down the 3. Allen a 3. How about that? That is DePaul basketball right there.
Yes, it is. These players don't force anything. Marte Graves could have launched one, maybe have gotten her shot blocked, but had a nice little fake there. That freezes the defense. Now the offense keeps moving. Pretty basketball by DePaul.
Inside, outside, I don't have it. You take it. Ellen does. It's a 6-point lead. Yes, it is, right? 2 remaining games, yep.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
Fans, come watch head coach Doug Bruno and the DePaul women's basketball team play this season by purchasing the Lincoln Park 2-pack. Select any 2 remaining McGrath-Phillips games that are convenient to your schedule and take advantage of the 2-game women's basketball mini plan for only $18. To learn more, call the DePaul ticket office today to reserve your seats at 773-325-SLAM or visit DePaulBlueDemons.com for more information on various ticket opportunities. Well, this is crunch time here for St. John's. They have worn down in games admitted by their head coach Joe Tartamella, and for DePaul, they have worn teams down. That's just a trait of DePaul. Final 8:32 here from McGrath-Phillips Arena.
And another close game opportunity for St. John's. Remember, they lost their last 2 games by combined 3 points. And they want to see if they can pull out one of these close games.
They lost those 2 games at home. Now they have to do it on the road against the 24th ranked team in the country. Shot clock down to 4. Once again, Campbell on the floor. Millinder on the floor. Nita Allen on the floor, and we play on. An empty possession for St. John's. Campbell makes it an 8-point game.
And she is so good at using her body to shield the basketball, to shield off defenders. Did a nice job of creating space for herself. And that is the court awareness of a veteran player, Kelly Campbell. Who's really the anchor of this DePaul basketball team this season.
And there's Campbell getting a hand on the ball. She does it. You mentioned a stat sheet stuffer. That's a stat that you will not see on your sheet. Deflections.
Yep, the tips, the deflections, the dives on the floor. I want to mandate the knee pads and elbow pads for Kelly Campbell.
9 seconds to shoot for St. John's. Now down to 3 and a travel. 2 straight possessions for St. John's. They get nothing.
And that's danger zone for St. John's, for any team really that comes in here, because you string together a couple empty possessions while DePaul is scoring on the other end. And that's when this DePaul team, especially here at home, smells blood. They turn it on, they kick it in to a different level when they start to sense that you are struggling. St. John's has got to keep it together mentally here against the Blue Demons.
DePaul looking to take this to a double-digit lead. Boy, they want Grace so badly inside, so she'll have to come out and get it. Shot clock down to 7. Millender. Graves keeps it alive on the tip rebound into the hands of Stonewall, and Shantae Stonewall will reap the benefits of Graves' hustle.
Once again, DePaul's getting busy on the offensive boards. That's not really Millender's shot. She didn't have much of a choice though with the shot clock running down, but DePaul doing such a great job of keeping those possessions alive. 14 offensive rebounds for the Blue Demons here tonight. That has led to 13 now second chance points.
There is the double-digit lead at 58-48. 20 points tonight for Shantae Stonewall. Her high this season was 25, and that came against Syracuse in the Cancun Classic. St. John's held a 3-point lead at one point in the third quarter. That has been wiped out and more. Bailey a little long, and St. John's looking a little ragged right now.
A little ragged, and then they're rushing their offensive possessions.
Ball moving again. Campbell to Millender. This is almost a must-score situation here with 5:56 to play in the game.
Absolutely. It's been a while since St. John's has scored.
From behind, Allen. Mora slid those feet.
A lot of travels on just the little jump stops. We've seen those in today's game. Shooters trying to get their feet set and just taking that little extra hop, that little extra step. Still, the turnover is pretty low overall in this game. Just 13 for St. John's. They're one of the best in the country at taking care of the basketball, and only 9 for the Blue Demons. They have been extraordinary today here and taking good care of the ball.
Campbell jumps out on Cabey. Blue Demons defensively making St. John's work for it. Alicia Cabey. That's a big 3 for Cabey. Her third of the night. She has 13 points. And the lead cut to 7. Campbell the opening. She knew she was going to get fouled, and she will go to the line.
Ice Bath City for Kelly Campbell once again. Landing sprawled out on the floor. She has just really played with such heart and passion today, and you know, she had some ups and downs earlier in this season, and in talking with Coach Doug Bruno, he said, you know, I think Kelly Campbell's back, and she's showing you know who she is, who she was as a player last season, and she had just such a special season last year. Led this team in scoring, had a triple-double last year, but has really kind of come into the Big East season with a vengeance.
Double figures tonight for Campbell in the scoring column. 4 rebounds, 3 assists. She's played every minute of this game. 60-51. We hit the 5-minute mark in the fourth quarter. Points have been hard to come by here in the last 8 minutes for St. John's. 7-6 on the shot clock. Tough shot by Waller. She reaches double figures. She has 11. DePaul breaks off the made field goal. Offensive foul on Graves. That is her fourth. Little shoulder to Alicia Cavey. You're not buying it?
A little shoulder, but it's some nice selling.
Okay, see.
By Cavey.
This is coming from a former post player.
It is. I like the way that Marte was fighting for the position down there. She has been working hard. But Cavey, you got it. Hats off. That was tough defense. Not easy to guard Marte Graves in the post.
Strong take to the basket by Kwadasha Hoppy. And this is back to a 5-point game. Great catch from Graves.
Nice. And the court awareness there. Knowing, dip the shoulder, wait for the defender to fly by. Just not being in a rush. That's just mature basketball right there.
Campbell in the midst of that. She'll come up with a steal. Second in the Big East in steals per game at 2.4. That's a big one with 3.5 minutes to play. 62-55. DePaul looking to go to 4-2 in Big East play. Graves, good look at a three, and bakes it in.
And showing her range. Marte Graves has been playing very good basketball lately on the Big East honor roll, showing why the versatility. Getting busy, being strong inside, and then pulling her game out to three-point range, even hitting it off the backboard for good measure. But that has been a signature of Marte Graves' game for the last few years, is just that versatility as a big player, being able to go both inside and out. So tough to guard for the Blue Demons.
Marte Graves, the tallest DePaul player at 6'2". And you see the matchup problem she creates. There's Doug Bruno, and he's in his 33rd year at DePaul, graduate of DePaul University, an English major. 680 wins for Doug Bruno.
Got this court named after him. Doug Bruno has his signature here right on the hardwood.
He has a couple of gold medals at home as well as part of the coaching staff.
There it is.
Do you think he got down on his hands and knees and had a big old paintbrush? And
I don't know, but I was going to say he has much better penmanship than me. That's for sure. You wouldn't be able to read mine. I scribble my name.
Softly off the glass for Willaire. 3 minutes left in an 8-point game. Willaire, one of 4 players in double figures for St. John's tonight. Led in scoring by 13 from Alicia Cavey. 20 points from Shantae Stonewall, tops DePaul, and leads 3 players in double figures.
Oh, DePaul trying to work some clock now.
Once again, the hands, the long reach. That time from Kritiana Brila. 2.5 to play in an 8-point game. Still, St. John's staying patient. And that will stop the clock with 2:24. Send Tiana England to the free throw line. First trip to the line tonight for England. .65% on the season. England tonight with the 11 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. It's just about at her per game average, 5.6 assists. That leads the Big East, 25th in the country. 1 of 2 for the sophomore. Kwadasha Hoppy back in. She'll replace Brila. England gets a breather. Kadeja Bailey into the game. Great pressure on the inbounds by St. John's. Boy, that was almost DePaul reminiscent there as to how tight they were on the inbounds pass.
How about this conference this year, Dave? I mean, you know, St. John's giving DePaul everything it can handle, and DePaul coming off of 2 games in which they were given everything that they could handle by Villanova and Georgetown. Had to pull those games out after having to rally from behind. You know, Butler just suffered its first conference loss. St. John's losing close games to Providence and Creighton at home last weekend. What a great start to the conference season it's been for the Big East. And Ashton Miller getting things started early for DePaul in this game. She was 3 for 3 from three-point range in the first half.
Yeah, these teams were both shooting well in that first half from three-point range. And Tiana England a big 3 in the third quarter. And that was the third quarter that saw St. John's take a 3-point lead before DePaul here has come out in the fourth, outscoring St. John's 14-10. DePaul's biggest lead tonight has been 12. St. John's led by 3 in a couple of occasions. 6 ties, 9 lead changes here, and we have 2:20 to play. Dahlman on the cut, the drive. That may have been partially blocked by Bailey. Big trip here for the Red Storm. Nothing there for Hoppy. We're under 2 minutes.
St. John's has got to find its way to the basket, though.
The pass inside, it goes to Charles from Hoppy. 65-60. Each team has 1 timeout remaining. 90 seconds left. Dahlman's able to keep it alive, just kept scrapping with it. Wallaire held her ground underneath, but it will be Kayla Charles with the foul, and that will send one of the top free throw shooters in the conference to the line.
DePaul doing a nice job of working the clock down on that offensive possession, but on the other end, St. John's taking a little bit too much time trying to find its way to the basket. They've got to be quicker with their offense in trying to cut down this deficit.
So the Red Storm will be chasing 7 points here with 1:20 to play. Hoppy will attack. The reverse. Rebound. Charles can't get the point-blank shot.
And that is something that has really just been an Achilles heel for St. John's all season. Missed layups. We talked to Coach Joe Tardamella about it. He says, I can't tell you how many points we have left off the scoreboard on missed layups. And some of them we've been wide open, and that's just a case in point right there. That was a killer for St. John's.
DePaul's able to take this clock down to about 40 seconds here. 5 to shoot. The ball will go the other way with 43 ticks left on the clock. And DePaul will make St. John's work here full court. You can see some tired legs out there on the floor for the Red Storm. Bailey on the move. Gray's the rebound. Somebody had to be fouled. Kelly Campbell's the one. 82% free throw shooter on the season. 6 of 7 from the line tonight.
And I like the mentality that DePaul is using here to finish up this game, really not taking the pedal off the gas.
Next ball game for DePaul, it will be right here at McGrath-Phillips Arena, 2 o'clock on Sunday. That's when Seton Hall will make the trip from Milwaukee, where they played Marquette earlier today. We'll have that for you. The way you are watching this one right now, come back Sunday at 2 o'clock.
But the pressure that DePaul is ending with here, really just making sure that St. John's has a tough time scoring quick, easy baskets. Not letting up, no let up defensively by the Blue Demons, and that is making it super tough for St. John's, which really already tired with the tired legs and the short bench to begin with. But tough to cut into that deficit when DePaul is playing such relentless defense here in the closing minutes.
St. John's just 35 seconds away from dropping their 4th in a row and 6 of the last 7. And for DePaul, looking to push a winning streak up to 3 with Seton Hall coming to Chicago on Sunday. You talk about close losses you mentioned earlier for St. John's. They had that 10-point loss to UConn, lost at Wake Forest by 5, lost to Florida State by 4, and then last weekend a 1-point loss to Providence in overtime and Creighton by 2. This is an 8-8 record coming in that a few breaks here or there, St. John's could have flipped around, but they're up against it right now with 35 seconds left. St. John's will be home for their next 4 Big East games: Georgetown, Villanova, Butler, and Xavier. That's following a trip to Marquette on Sunday. DePaul, after playing Seton Hall here, they will hit the road and take on Butler and Xavier. St. John's has to get up in a hurry. Hoppe forces and hits. Kodasha Hoppe, your second 3 of the night. St. John's is out of timeouts. We got a whistle. Doug Bruno.
I think they're checking to see if that is a 3-pointer.
Well, that's going to be close.
Yeah, it looks good to me, though. I think her foot was behind the line, but that's what they're checking right now.
You know, and it's interesting because I believe Doug Bruno would say, just call it 3 and let's play on. Yeah, let's not stop the clock and actually give St. John's an extra timeout. In fact, they're going to say it's a 2. They'll say their toe was on the line.
Really?
For Hoppe.
That looked like a 3 to me.
And the other thing Doug Bruno was saying is, okay, well, I think there was a foul in there as well, but the official review leads to a 2, and now DePaul will have to inbound. 69-62, 28 seconds left. Of course, the shot clock is off. Tough traffic there for Dahlman. That took about 3 ticks off the clock. 20 points for Shantae Stonewall tonight, 12 each for Ashley Millender and Kelly Campbell. 13 points leads the way for St. John's, that coming from Alicia Cabey. Shantae Stonewall will head to the free throw line. Stonewall tonight working on a 20.6 rebound game.
Those 3 players in double figures for DePaul. Campbell and Millender both have 12. Scoring a little more spread out for St. John's. 4 players in double figures for St. John's. KB leading the way with 13. Wellair comes home to Chicago with 11 points.
DePaul 10th in the country in free throw shooting at 77%. They're right at that number here tonight, 15 of 19. And that one will go for 2 for Hoppe.
St. John's certainly doing a great job of making things interesting. They are not going away, that is for sure. And you can tell that this is a team that is a little irritated and sick of losing close games. We've talked about it all night. The last 2 losses by combined 3 points. I think they've lost 4 Big East games by a combined 7 points.
Well,
that doesn't sit well with players.
And I think it speaks to the level of play in this conference.
It sure does.
2 more free throws for DePaul. Those coming from Rebecca Dahlman. 73-64. Cena has to force it up. And St. John's will just let DePaul dribble this one out. DePaul will go to 4-2 in the Big East, 13-5 overall, 73-64 tonight tough Big East battle against St. John's.
Well, I like the determination that both of these teams played with tonight. We saw it in the third quarter for St. John's. They did a great job of scratching back into this game, but DePaul answered with determination and relentlessness of its own in the fourth, especially on the defensive end. Really, just a showcase of how tough Big East basketball is on any given night.
And this was game number 1 of a 2-game weekend for each of these two teams. Seton Hall will come to Chicago, 2 o'clock game on Sunday. You can catch it right here in the Big East Digital Network and NBC Sports Chicago. But tonight it was Blue Demons night. 73-64, your final for Patricia Babcock-McGraw. I'm Dave Bernhardt. Thanks for joining us on a Friday night. We'll come right back at you Saturday. Make that Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Thank you, everyone.